Dr. Syed Harun Al-Habsi, President of LBKM, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, salam sejahtera, dan selamat tahun baru. I am delighted to join you this evening to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Prophet Muhammad's Birthday Memorial Scholarship Fund Board, better known as LBKM. Unlike my learned friend, Dr. Harun, I am unable to write my own pantun, but I will start with a few words in Malay. Di Singapura, masyarakat Melayu Islam berkembang maju sebagai sebuah masyarakat gemilang, berkat sokongan badan-badan Melayu Islam seperti LBKM. Anda memainkan peranan penting dalam membantu pelbagai lapisan masyarakat, termasuk menyokong usaha-usaha M Kuasa 3. Dan melalui rangkaian Anda sendiri, Anda juga saling melengkapi inisiatif nasional untuk memenuhi keperluan dan aspirasi masyarakat. Malam ini, kita meraihkan semangat untuk berkhidmat, semangat saling membantu, serta bekerjasama demi kebaikan semua. Semangat inilah yang akan memperkasa masyarakat Melayu Islam sebagai masyarakat gemilang. Dan semangat ini jugalah yang akan membantu Singapura mengatasi cabaran-cabaran baharu dengan penuh yakin. Kepada semua wakil-wakil LBKM dan MMO yang dahulu dan sekarang, terima kasih atas sumbangan Anda. For 6 decades, LBKM has been providing financial support for students from all walks of life, as you heard just now, to pursue their studies. Your commitment to this mission reminds us of the importance which Islam and the Prophet Muhammad place on knowledge and education. And since its establishment, LBKM has benefited more than 38,000 students with almost $35 million in bursaries, scholarships, and grants. So well done to everyone in LBKM. In Singapore, education is heavily subsidized by the government, which means by taxpayers. But beyond the government funding, there will always be additional needs in the community which can be met by the community itself. And it's because of your unstinting efforts that generations of Singaporeans have been able to pursue their aspirations and dreams. While LBKM has stayed true to its founding mission, it has evolved with the times and also updated its approach. At the beginning, you gave out a modest number of bursaries to students in need. Now you support many more students, and your award recipients pursue diverse opportunities in our education system, in primary and secondary schools, in madrasas, in our ITEs, polytechnics and universities, and even at institutions overseas. You have expanded your range of scholarships to cover a wider range of disciplines, from musicology to law and technology, thereby enabling more Singaporeans to maximize their diverse potential and strengths. And you have used your awards to help students meet the changing needs of the economy and to acquire the competencies needed to stay competitive in the workplace. For example, you launched future economy scholarships for students in STEM-related fields. You worked with Maybank on scholarships for Singaporean undergraduates who are pursuing studies in fields of interest in the banking sector, like actuarial science and risk modeling. To encourage young people to get overseas experience, you started the Learning Access Student Overseas Exchange and Internship Program grant, supported by the Community Foundation of Singapore. And this helps students in our local institutions to participate in programs at universities abroad or to intern at companies overseas. Over the years, you have been able to extend your reach and multiply your impact on the community by working with like-minded partners. For example, LBKM partnered the Singapore Muslim Women's Association, or PPIS, to jointly establish a postgraduate scholarship for women of all races and religions in fields. Thank you. Women of all races and religions in fields like STEM, gerontology, and women's studies. And this represents the commitment of both organizations to nurture female role models who can become future community leaders, and we look forward to many, many more of them. So LBKM has achieved a lot these last 60 years. All of your achievements would not have been possible without the passion, commitment, and dedication of generations of LBKM staff and volunteers. I'm very glad that the past presidents are here, Mr. Wan Hussein Zuhri and Mr. Zuhaimi Saleh. The family of the founding president, Mr. Al-Salgoff, is here too. There are also many volunteers, council members, people associated with LBKM, past and present, here with us tonight. And I'd like to say to all of you, thank you for your service. Of course, we also want to acknowledge the organizations and individuals who donate generously to LBKM and its programs. There are many of you here tonight, and you heard the call from the President to donate even more generously. Please respond to his call, but we should also recognize all of you and give them a big round of applause. Thank you very much. This year is special not just because it's LBKM's 60th anniversary, it is also Singapore's 60th year of independence. Coincidentally, I was just remarking to Dr. Harun, LBKM has had 4 presidents. Singapore also has 4 prime ministers. I don't know whether your 5th president will coincide with the 5th prime minister of Singapore. But clearly, the history is intertwined. Indeed, when leaders of various Malay Muslim organizations, as you heard the history just now, decided to set up the Prophet Muhammad's Birthday Scholarship Fund in 1963, they wanted to remember the Prophet by helping students in need of financial assistance. And then, of course, tragically, 1 year later, we experienced terrible race riots in Singapore, including one which occurred in July during a procession to mark the Prophet's birthday. But instead of allowing these incidents to divide our society, our early Malay Muslim leaders resolved to mark the Prophet's birthday in a more meaningful way. And this led to the establishment of LBKM in 1965, just after Singapore's independence, to administer the fund. The LBKM leaders were determined to focus on education for a better life. And by supporting all deserving students, regardless of race or religion, they contributed in their own way to fostering harmony in our multiracial and multi-religious society. Like LBKM, Singapore emerged from this crucible of adversity. We have always been an improbable nation with no resources of our own. At the time of independence, many said that Singapore wouldn't make it. But we defied the odds and we proved the skeptics wrong. We worked together as one united people to achieve happiness, prosperity, and progress for our nation. This is the indomitable Singapore spirit, which we must continue to embrace, to take our community and to take our nation forward. It is about overcoming challenges together, striving for excellence, and supporting and uplifting our fellow Singaporeans. Many recipients of LBKM awards exemplify and embody this spirit. And you see that in how they are taking active steps to pay it forward, contribute to the community and to our country in ways big and small. You saw just now on the slide some examples of prominent LBKM alumni. Some of them have taken on key roles in the community, like our former muftis, Dr. Syed Isa Samad and Dr. Fatris Bakaram. Some volunteer their time and resources for a range of causes in both Malay Muslim and other organizations. Take Mr. Salifian bin Sulaiman as an example. He received the LBKM prestigious postgraduate scholarship last year. He has been awarded the Rhodes Scholarship and will commence postdoctoral work in anthropology and migration at Oxford University later this year. Beyond excelling in his studies, Salifian has launched multiple initiatives to support the community. These include interfaith dialogues when he was at NUS, and a big S1 project to raise funds for underprivileged children during the pandemic. So well done, Salifian. And there are many other stories like this of LBKM alumni doing well, but not only doing well for themselves, giving back to the community and uplifting their fellow Singaporeans, and we want to encourage more of that spirit. Indeed, LBKM has been very deliberate about nurturing this culture of service through collaborations with Mendaki and the NYC, the National Youth Council, and other organizations. You encourage award recipients to give back to the community. For example, they have access to a diverse range of volunteering opportunities with Youth Corps Singapore. And this provides them with a range of platforms to support the causes that they care about, from migrant workers to environmental sustainability. So it's thanks to organizations like LBKM, our many Malay Muslim organizations, that our community and our Malay Muslim community can thrive as a community of success, and we can all chart our way forward in Singapore with confidence. Through your efforts, we help Singaporeans to achieve their hopes and aspirations. We enable them to support their fellow citizens and rally all of us as one people to join hands to build our shared future together. So in this SG60 year, I hope we can all reflect on how far we have come as a nation. And indeed, there is so much to give thanks for and be grateful for. Singapore is not perfect, but if you look around the world today, in this very turbulent and volatile world, I think we have many blessings here, and we have come so far as a nation these last 60 years. I encourage LBKM to continue the good work you have done and to sustain this virtuous cycle of giving. Happy 60th anniversary, and may your work continue to benefit Singaporeans and Singapore for many more years to come. Thank you very much.